This is just showing off, I think. I think Poirot likes to show off. Welcome back to Sightless Gamer Hack. My name is Rachel and it's Murder Mystery Monday and we are about to conclude Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot's first cases. Last week we were interrogating the staff and we found out that they were all involved in this conspiracy to cover up the murder of the Major. They fudged the times, they did all this kind of stuff. And we are now concluding that it was Elizabeth that killed the Major. But I'm still kind of hoping that she didn't. I mean, she's fully justified if she did. But we're going to go and we're going to have our little conclusion and we're going to talk to everyone. We're going to find out exactly how this crime happened. Oh, I didn't read it. Has an elephant escaped and made its way to the second floor? It sounds as though it's coming directly from above me, but that is a storage room. Right, let's go and have a look. Oh, there's all kinds of conspiracies that's been going on as well. We'll find out some more about it. Right, so we need to go up the stairs, I think. So you said directly above me. So let's go to the first floor hall. Go up and have a look in this storage room. So the Major was a bad lad. He was a bad lad. He was a wrong one. I was hoping to find out some more about his military history. What is occurring? Okay. Let's go have a look in the storage room. I hope I'm not going to get my lights punched out. Archibald, why would Monsieur Sterling be here and clattering around in the dead of night? Oh, new my map. Archibald is up in the middle of the night making some amount of noise. It must be to find out. I must find out the extent of his behaviour. Yes, Archibald. What are you doing?
Monsieur Sterling. Oh, detective. I was just...
This room seems different.
Please, I eagerly await to hear what reason you give for being in the storage room at this hour.
A butler's job is never...
I am no fool, monsieur. You have spun enough stories this weekend.
Honestly, detective, you don't trust anyone.
Have any of you given me any reason to trust you? You've all lied to me.
And with good reason.
My patience has all but run out. What are you doing in here?
Thinking about my time with the family.
I often think on fond memories, but it does not take me to a storage room in the middle of the night.
Burn.
There are many memories held within these walls. I just wanted to see them again.
Strange. Monsieur Sterling sounds as though he has plans on leaving the house. It sounded as though you were moving furniture in here.
I didn't realize the noise I was making.
Obviously. Were you preoccupied looking for another of the Major's
He's going to try and do a flit.
Of course not. I already explained.
No, monsieur. You attempted to dupe me again into believing one of your stories.
Oh, look at that angry face.
Please, detective. I know you know how it ended up in my possession. I was just trying to get some extra money together to send home. I can't lose this job. If Lady Van den Bosch found out...
Theft of a medal would be the very least of your problems.
You covered up a murder, mate. You've done nothing but deceive and abuse your position in this house.
Deceive? I'm sorry that I lied to you about the medal.
This is not about the medal, sir. Even when confronted, Monsieur Sterling still remains steadfast and refused to acknowledge what he has done.
Would you care to explain the fake telephone call? It was purely for my benefit, no?
Why would I fake a telephone call?
The same reason that Mademoiselle Rihanna dressed in the Major's jacket in the snow. To allow not only the guests, but me to believe the Major was still alive.
I didn't kill him, detective.
I know, you just covered up his murder.
But I also know that you helped the one that did to cover their tracks.
It wasn't like that. We were just trying to help. She had no part in it.
Both you and Mademoiselle Rihanna risked your freedom to help
You never
Elizabeth.
let on. How long have you known it was her?
Monsieur, I am Detective Hercule
Not that long,
Poirot.
to be honest.
I only show my hand when I deem it necessary.
I worked it out before he did. I was very sad about her.
You will be taking her away then.
I'm taking
She
you
will
all
stand
away.
trial for what she has done.
But you don't know the full story. She is just a servant in this house. If she is arrested...
Oh god,
that
they
will
still
be
had
the end
hanging,
for
didn't
her.
they?
If Mademoiselle was only protecting herself, as you both have claimed, she will surely be found innocent.
You've still not explained what you're doing in here.
The Major's military storage box.
The one that stored his medals.
Amongst other things, yes.
And those other things are?
I had to protect her. If you found it when searching the study, you would have carted her off then and there.
Whatever
What?
it is you have hidden, it will not remain that way for much longer.
What? Monsieur Sterling is obviously hiding something. I should perhaps conduct my own search for it instead of relying on his cryptic messages.
I need a moment.
What do we have here? Let's have a little look. Archbold. What?
Huh.
One of many saint carvings from around the house, abandoned in a box. Why is a saint carving in here? Oh, there was mention of another storage room. Or potentially. Archibald hid items related to the movie. Archibald claims there is more to the story. Detached. There we go. Hidden room. Detached saint
The
carving.
pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
The detached carving may relate to a door in this room. This would explain Archibald's presence. Okay, so we have secret room is accessible within storage room. Archibald hid
Some would say
items.
a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Archibald must have hidden items in the secret room. I presume this exists within here somewhere. Okay, let's inspect the storeroom. If you... Right.
Oh.
There appears to be nothing here. Clock. There appears to be nothing here. Cupboard, maybe? I mean, that's big enough to hide a door. Oh, it's moved. Or has it? A hidden room. It seems there are more secrets in this house to discover. Oh, I would love... Completely off topic. I would love a house with like a room that's hidden behind a wardrobe. So you go through the wardrobe into this hidden... I would love that. Military service box. The mayor's military service box. It contains letters and keepsakes. What else? Expensive lighter. An expensive looking lighter. It looks to have unfortunately been through a war. Come, my little grey cells. I believe we already know something about this mystery. Okay, what else is it? Oh, a letter. The last will and testament of the late Viscount. It seems he truly loved Angeline. Last will and testament declaration. I declare that I, Viscount Edwin van den Bosch, am of sound mind. This last will expresses my wishes without undue influence or duress. Article 1. In the event of my death, I hereby appoint my wife, Cassandra van den Bosch, as the executor of the Van den Bosch estate, and I leave the remaining wealth held in the Van den Bosch name to my only daughter, Angeline van den Bosch. Except she wasn't his daughter. Any outstanding debts, expenses of my last illness, funeral expenses and administrative costs are to be paid from the Van den Bosch account at the National Bank of Belgium. To my daughter Angeline, you are the apple of my eye and the brightest star in the sky. Never allow your light to fade for even a moment. To my wife Cassandra, thank you for many joyous years. We have laughed, we have loved, and we have brought the most precious of gifts into this world together. I trust that you will protect her and prepare her for a future full of opportunity and hope. Viscount Edwin van den Bosch, Monsieur Victor Rougeau and Petit solicitors, except she wasn't his daughter. A prestigious-looking knife, likely belonging to the Major. Okay, let's do some sleuthing. Investigate Archibald's suspicious behaviour. Right, let's have a look. We have well-used and expensive lighter, Major's lighter. So let's have a little look around. What have we got here? The military knife. It's got blood stains. Potentially, oh, rose engraving. Unrecognised symbol. Maybe they are...
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
This lighter must have belonged to the Major. The army symbol all but confirms this, but don't I already have this in my possession? Whose lighter do I have then? Is the military lighter the Major's lighter?
What a revelation.
The lighter I found in the military box is certainly the Major's, meaning the other one is not. Whose is it then? Okay. Archibald was taking medals for extra money. Archibald seems to cover up. Oh, potential murder weapon. The bloodstains.
Magnifique.
The murder weapon has been found. Elizabeth must have used this in the study. Okay. I don't have anything to look at there. That's all. The blackmail's done. We know who's doing that. Let's go and have a little chat with Archibald. Hello.
There is no use lying anymore.
When I inspected the garden yesterday, I found a lighter I assumed belonged to the Major.
He always had his regiment lighter that he received in the war on his person.
And yet, it was not his regiment emblem that was engraved on it.
My father's. It must have fallen out of my pocket. You still have it, detective.
Monsieur, you have stashed evidence, manipulated a crime scene, obscured my investigation, and yet it is a lighter that you worry about most?
Is it his father's?
If it is my path to end up behind bars for what I have done, so be it. It is Elizabeth that you cannot allow to be locked up without the truth being told.
What is going
I have
on?
heard how you fought for that young maid before. Florette, is it? I only ask that you do the same for Elizabeth.
Did we ever find out what happened to Florette? Although the cases differ greatly in severity, I can envision the similarities and how Mademoiselle Elizabeth will be treated by those in the positions of authority or social standing even before she is tried. Yeah, she's a little servant girl who murdered a major. It's not going to go down well. It is my oath as an officer of the law to uphold justice and fairness. Mademoiselle must be given the chance to prove her innocent before the courts as any other suspect. The absent murder weapon.
You found it.
Even the secret area that has been created here is not concealed enough to stop Detective Hercule Poirot.
But we didn't find it straight away though, did we?
couldn't just leave it at the scene for you to find.
The Major was killed by his own knife. The knife that protected his life during the war would eventually be the one that ended it.
Probably deserved it, to be honest.
In his holster when he attacked her. He had hold of her arm. What else was she meant to use to get him off of her?
He attacked her? I cannot imagine the Major would have given his knife up easily. She must have been in close proximity to reach it. Perhaps he did attack her as she claims. We haven't spoken to Elizabeth. We don't know what she claims.
She was only defending herself.
That is what Mademoiselle told you?
She did, and I believe her. You think you knew the Major, but you had no idea. He was a monster and had more secrets than all of us combined.
That may be true, but that does not excuse what she has done.
Put yourself in her shoes for a minute. If a man like that had attacked me the way he did Lizzie, I would have done a lot worse to him.
If it was self-defense, why? Oh, I mind you, I suppose because she is a servant, even if it was self-defense, that it wouldn't be tried like that. So Mademoiselle Elizabeth has told Monsieur Sterling a version of the events that suggests she was attacked by the Major. I struggle to believe that she would make such a story up, but then I also do not believe she could do such a thing as commit murder.
I need a moment.
Yeah, I kind of... There's something going on here. It doesn't feel right, you know what I mean? Right, so let's have a look what we've got here. So the lighter from the garden, we know that. We know that Archibald was in the garden. Okay, what's near here? Oh, the open window. He dropped something. He must have dropped the knife out the window. If the only thing I found was Archibald's lighter, he must have collected something else. What else did Archibald collect from the garden? He collected the knife. He collected the knife. So, where's the knife? Where is that? Is that close to here? Yeah.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Archibald dropped the murder weapon from the window, collected it, and then hid it in the secret room. There is like layers to this. Talk to Archibald. Is this the truth though?
There is no use lying anymore.
It was you that I saw in the garden that night.
When you asked me yesterday about seeing someone out there, I thought the game was up.
That does not explain what you were doing out there.
Collecting the
When Lizzie
evidence.
took me to the study. The knife was still in the Major's chest, and I knew I had to get rid of it. I dropped it out of the window, knowing no one would be going outside. It was fine for the time being, but I couldn't risk it being found when the snow melted.
So you collected it under the cover of darkness and stowed it away in here where you thought no one would find it.
After your questioning in the pantry, I knew you were onto something, and I couldn't leave it here.
And where did you plan on moving it to?
Ironically, him trying to hide it alerted Poirot's attention to the fact that there was a room there. So if he hadn't been up there trying to hide it, Poirot probably wouldn't have found it.
Honestly, I don't know.
Collecting the item and hiding it to save Elizabeth, he must truly want to protect her from the law. Okay. Right. Can we talk to him about anything else?
There is no use lying.
I have one last question. Why?
You know what? Why I would risk everything to help Lizzie?
Exactement.
Because she is family. If you were in that position,
Real
would
family
do the
or?
I can assure you, monsieur, that I would not.
then perhaps that says something about you, Detective. I would do anything for her. For any of my staff.
Even if it means crossing the boundaries of the law.
Without question.
The lengths that Monsieur Sterling would go to protect someone he considers family is admirable, but when those lengths break the law that are in place to protect the innocent, they cannot be ignored. I would not call the Major innocent. I ask that once your morning duties for the ladies of the house are complete, Mademoiselle Rihanna and yourself wait in the staff quarters.
Detective. But
They're going to be out the
please,
window and hitting
you have
toes.
to help Lizzie. It was all an accident. She doesn't deserve to spend the rest of her days behind bars because of that man.
If she is put behind bars, it is because that is what the courts have decided upon.
Detective, you can't be so cruel.
It is not cruelty, monsieur. It is the law.
Do you even know if Elizabeth is still in the house? I mean, she could have done a runner. After all these further revelations, my mind is as busy as Monsieur Goulet's chocolate shop. I have all the pieces of the puzzle to deduce why Elizabeth killed the Major. Now I must allow my little grey cells to put them together. New mind map unlocked. After finding these documents in the hidden room, things are starting to fall into place as to why Elizabeth may have killed him. Really? Informal letter. Major contacted old friends. Major was building his militia. Okay. The Major was in financial state. Ernesto paid the Major for his support. Luke died at the factory strike. Viscount left belonging to Angelina's the guardianship. War map, standard military box, empty canteen. Major played blackmail ransom. What? Major killed prisoners of war. Hang on a second. When did... I didn't read this. Discharge under other than honourable conditions. This is to certify that Major Felix Hagen has been discharged from the British Army in consequence of crimes against humanity during a period of war. Additional detail, while serving overseas, a number of prisoners of war were being held under the authority and supervision of Major Felix Hagen. While in his care, prisoners were executed an insubordinate act that disobeyed direct orders. His actions were being deemed in direct violation of British Army values and ethics, and consequentially, Major Felix Hagen has been withdrawn from his position and will return to England. Major Felix Hagen is to renounce all responsibility of his rank, returning any and all uniform, and will return to civilian life. Pension due to be received from the British Army will hereby be revoked, and any benefits are to be stopped with immediate effect. Holy shit! When did we see this? Have I seen this before? Did I just forget?
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Was this a piece of evidence that I didn't find? Oh, maybe this was in the Major study. And I didn't go in the Major study. So, well, the information would have destroyed his reputation if unveiled a strong motive for blackmail. I mean, so he's not receiving a pension, so he's in a pretty bad financial state.
Magnifique.
So who paid the blackmail? The Major's financial struggles must have left him in need of a source of income. Who could the Major have turned to in his time of need? So he's in a bad financial state, so he wants a job, doesn't he? So the Major is desperate for a well-paid job. Let's go.
Come,
No.
Grey Cells. We must think.
Okay. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that, I think. Got one more link to make. Oh, there we go. Ernesto.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
The Major needed the job to go ahead, and it was the only way to guarantee money in his pocket. What could he do to ensure the job would be completed? So the Major needed to ensure the job was well done. Does that linked with the fact that he... what else have we got? Luke died at the factory strike. Let's have a look. Maybe I need to have a look at that informal letter as well. See if maybe I have not read this one. Dear Felix, how hoofing it is to hear from you after so long. Surprising to hear you have settled on the continent, although I recall you talking about a different calibre of women over there. You are sorely missed at the George and Dragon. Would you believe Duncan still tends bar, and still refers to himself as the king of the castle? One day he will finally get committed. There were rumours that you had returned to South Africa, but after what we had seen and what we had to do, I knew you couldn't have. At your request, I forwarded this letter correspondence information for the remaining members of the battalion, and I have no fear that we will be proud to follow you once more. I wait patiently for my orders. Your faithfully, in death and glory, Lieutenant Roger Davies. Oh, this is his militia. This is his militia that he was building. Are the guys that were with him when he did the war crimes. Right, so he was being blackmailed over war crimes. He was in a bad financial state. Let's have a look. Viscount belongs to thing. Luke died in the factory strike. Security attacked first. Maybe.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
To secure his payment, the Major must have ordered the attack at the strikes. What were the consequences of the Major ordering the first attack? Luke died. Luke died.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
The Major's actions unfortunately led to the death of Luke, and all for greed. Who would have been the most affected by this? His sister, his fiancée. The Major ordered Luke's thing. There we go, there's Elizabeth. Click.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Elizabeth has probably lost more than anyone else involved. She may have sought her revenge. Elizabeth doesn't seem like the vengeful type, but all signs are pointing to her seeking revenge for her beloved Luke. She was in a position to poison him, though. Like, why would she stab him when she could poison him? Let's go speak to some people. If I am to confront Mademoiselle Elizabeth, I must be at my best, and my little grey cells are the most alert. It is time to at least try and rest. My little grey cells are not the most alert. What time is it for me? Let's have a little look. Okay. I have no time to wallow in my lack of sleep. I must confront Mademoiselle Elizabeth and hopefully finally know the truth of what took place.
Detective Poirot, I'm glad you're awake.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. It has certainly not been a night of peaceful sleep. There is something that we must discuss.
Please, detective, I'm not sure I can take any more surprises like last night.
I'm afraid this may be the most upsetting of them all.
You have found Felix's killer, haven't you?
I think so.
I have. And the guilty party will certainly come as a shock.
I take no great pleasure in telling you this, mademoiselle.
Detective, please.
It was Mademoiselle Elizabeth that was behind the Major's death.
I still don't buy it.
You must be mistaken. Elizabeth could not do such a thing.
I assure you I am not. It is something I spent much of last night deliberating. When you spoke of the telephone lines being out of order, it made me question the conversation I thought I had heard Monsieur Sterling make with the Major before connecting the call to him.
But it hasn't been working all weekend.
Exactement, mademoiselle. That is when I knew I had once again been lied to.
I mean, they lied all the time. On my way to speaking with Monsieur Sterling, Mademoiselle Rihanna, I met Mademoiselle Elizabeth. I wonder if she was
resting in the staff quarters. She has not been well.
I wonder if she was coming to confess.
I am afraid that was yet another lie, orchestrated to keep her from incriminating herself.
Why would you think that, detective?
I only managed a few words with her before we were quite abruptly interrupted by Monsieur Sterling.
I must admit, he has a habit of speaking over the other staff.
I mean, he's the butler. It's kind of what they do. They generally think they run the house.
It was much more than merely disturbing our conversation. It was done with the intention to prevent Mademoiselle saying something that she should not.
So, Elizabeth killed Felix, and then Archibald helped her cover it up?
In its simplest form, oui. I have heard it directly from the horse's mouth.
You have spoken with Elizabeth already? Did she admit to it?
Not Elizabeth, but Monsieur Sterling.
Okay, so we need to go and speak to Elizabeth. Were you not woken last night by the tremendous amount of noise coming from the storage
I
room?
wasn't. What were you doing in there, detective?
It wasn't me.
It was Monsieur Sterling that I found in there. I was taken by some surprise to hear anyone awake at that hour.
What on earth was he doing?
Hiding the evidence.
He claimed he was merely reminiscing of his time with the family.
You don't believe him?
It did not take long for me to uncover the truth of why he was there, and the location of the Major's murder weapon.
Did you know of the hidden area within the storage room?
A room that held all of the Major's secrets.
Dun dun dun.
I had no idea. Did you discover the reason for his blackmail?
I did. Were you aware he was dishonorably discharged from the army?
Still walking around like a major though.
What does that mean?
I will not hide the truth from Mademoiselle, but I will try and be as delicate as possible with the news of the Major's prior actions. I'm sure you're aware of Monsieur Zachariah's troubles he faces from his time in the war.
Gideon told me about the conversation you had. It is really quite upsetting.
Zachariah was adamant of the Major's cruelty during the war, but the extent was not known until now. He killed a number of prisoners, men that were friends of Zachariah.
Surely not. He would not do such a thing. They must have been trying to escape.
Hon, he was discharged.
I am afraid not. They were in fact unarmed.
Oh, detective.
It is the reason he was discharged, denied his military pension, and I believe the reason he fled England.
He had been such an important part of my life for so long, but I feel like I hardly knew him.
Ah, Monsieur Sterling was adamant of Mademoiselle Elizabeth's innocence.
You said it was she that killed him.
It was her hand that held the knife, but he was quite insistent it happened in self-defense.
In all of the years I have known her, she has barely even raised her voice. I cannot believe she would do something like that out of malice.
The whole truth cannot be known until Mademoiselle Elizabeth has told her story.
I allow my perception of her character to conceal any thought of her involvement. It seems I am not the only one. The time has come to confront Mademoiselle Elizabeth. Why we haven't done that? Will you allow me to be present?
I think that is an excellent idea. I hope your presence will calm her and will perhaps allow her to speak more freely.
I'll potentially have the opposite effect.
I know she has done a terrible thing, but I beg of you to give her the time to explain herself.
I will offer Mademoiselle Elizabeth the fair trial that she deserves, as I would with any suspect.
I don't think it's a good idea having...
Thank you, Detective Poirot.
Would you bring Mademoiselle Elizabeth to the study, where we will not be disturbed?
Of course, I'll find her immediately.
Sloppy. Sloppy there. I believe what Monsieur Sterling has already told me about the events that occurred between Mademoiselle Elizabeth and the Major. I do not believe that she would have had to do what she did if he had not attacked her and pushed her to the point where she feared for her life. I must listen to her story and the truth, and only then can her punishment be determined.
Mademoiselle Elizabeth, merci for joining us.
Miss Angeline said you requested to see me urgently.
We have some serious matters to discuss, and I would like to waste no further time.
I don't think it's a good idea having Angeline there.
Yes, Detective.
How are you feeling?
Still not quite myself.
I was surprised when Monsieur Sterling hurried you to assist Madame Vandenbosch last night.
I should not have avoided my duties for so long. The house does not stop because I'm feeling a little under the weather.
That is true. But you cannot be expected to complete all your tasks if you are not in the right frame of mind.
What is this?
Honestly, Detective, it was best for me to not sit and wallow anymore.
My investigation has taken me down many paths this weekend.
Have you been able to uncover who the blackmailer is?
The blackmailer's identity has been established, and they will pay the price for their crimes.
Wonderful news, Detective. You can put it all behind you now. You must be thrilled.
I would not say thrilled, knowing that such a close friend has betrayed us.
Mademoiselle is correct. What I have learned over this weekend is that people are not always as they appear. While they may give an impression of being a friend or ally, they can in fact be something completely different.
Is he trying to give her the opportunity to confess?
What of the Major's killer?
Well, mademoiselle, that is why I have asked you here now.
Oh, you must be giving her an opportunity to confess. I posed a question to all the guests what their thoughts on the Major were. Now I extend the question to you. Let's ask about Luke
Yes, that is
first.
where he spent his last moments. Standing shoulder to shoulder with his fellow workers.
The resulting riots were a terrible tragedy. One that I hope we will not have to see or experience again. Something that could have been avoided had the Major and his team done what was required of them.
Nobody deserved to die that day. Not my Luke.
I posed a question to all the guests what their thoughts on the Major were. Now I extend the same
I'm not
question
quite
to
sure
you.
what you want me to say, Detective.
He was a prick.
Your honest opinion is all I ask, and s'il te plaît, do not hold back. No one else felt it necessary.
We only spoke when there was something in the house to be done. We did not speak of interests or pastimes.
You knew of his work with Monsieur de Silva?
I only know what is required of me to know, and that is very little.
But you were aware of his work as security at Monsieur de Silva's factory.
I was.
Oh.
The factory your beloved Luke worked at, before he was cruelly taken from this world.
Yes, Detective.
Do you blame the Major for his
Detective,
death?
what kind of question is that?
Just a question. Fair enough.
It is a straightforward one.
He...
Mademoiselle, if there is something you wish to tell me, now is that time.
I'm sorry, Detective, I just don't know how to answer it.
Let us consider what we know of the Major. He fronted the militia that attacked the workers at the strike. You were aware of this?
I mean, she's not caved yet. She's doing pretty well.
You finally had someone to blame for Luke's death. Someone conveniently located in the same house, alone in his study.
But why is
No,
that?
Detective. It wasn't like that.
Tell me what happened with the Major on the evening of his death.
I was only in here trying to prove what I heard Mr. Beckers say. I was going to report him, I swear. Miss Angeline, you believe me, don't you?
I want to. I am still trying to understand it all myself.
I wonder if the Major was
Why
trying
don't
to
you
kill
start
her.
from the beginning?
I was delivering Miss Angeline's dress to her room when I heard Mr. Beckers arguing with the Major in his study. They were ever so loud. I thought the whole house would have been listening to what they were saying. Mr. Beckers was talking about the factory strikes and how it was the Major's fault. He told him that if he didn't own up to his crimes, he would go to the newspapers.
Oh.
I cannot imagine the Major would have taken kindly to Monsieur Becker's threat.
I'm surprised the Major didn't lamp him.
He
to be
didn't.
honest.
He called him some rather uncouth names before Mr. Beckers left and went downstairs. I made sure to keep out of sight. After the altercation between the Major and Master Gideon, you went to speak with him outside, and I thought I could look around his study without anyone knowing. I had to know for sure. If it was true, he deserved to be held accountable.
And did
Oh,
you find the
no.
proof you are looking for?
I found a payment from Mr. De Silva, but there was nothing incriminating about that. I was so nervous. I felt like my heart was beating out of my chest.
And then you saw the blackmail note.
I recognized the writing on the envelope. I couldn't believe it. How could he do such a thing to Angeline? To the family that had taken him in?
Common sense would determine the Major was another victim of the blackmailer.
If I'd have used common sense, I wouldn't have been snooping around alone in his study in the first place.
I mean, that's fair enough. She's not wrong.
Before I could move, the major was
Gosh, she
standing
must have
in
been
front of me, demanding
terrified.
to know why I was going through his belongings without permission. I tried to come up with an excuse, but nothing came out. And when he saw the letter in my hand, it was like Dr. Jekyll turning into Mr. Hyde. I tried to move around him towards the door, but he hurled something towards me and it crashed against the wall.
That would explain the damage to the wall.
I froze. I have never been so scared in all my life. I thought he was going to kill me there and then.
He quite possibly could have.
And you thought you would beat him to it.
Oh, Detective, you make it sound as though I had it all planned. He lunged forward and grabbed me by the arm. I tried to push him away, but he was too strong. His grip just got tighter and tighter. If only you had seen the look in his eyes, I dared not even scream. I saw the sheath on his belt. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't want to hurt him, but he wouldn't let go of me.
I mean...
So you took your opportunity to put an end to it all.
I just wanted to get him off me. I didn't want to hurt him. I reached for it and I jabbed it at him. His grip instantly loosened and I ran straight out the door and didn't look back.
You did not even look to see what state you had left him in?
Would you?
She had just been attacked, Detective.
I mean...
Oui, please. Continue.
He was a very strong and very scary man, and she was very scared. Of course she's going to hit toes.
I ran down to the pantry looking for Rahana. She took one look at me and knew something was wrong. I explained to her what had happened and she went to find Archie. She said he would know what to do. We went back to the study and he was still lying there, motionless. Archie said that no one would believe me. That if someone like me killed someone like him, I would be sent straight to the gallows. He left the letter so you would find it. He said that if people knew what the Major was really like, then they wouldn't care what happened to him.
So I am to believe that it was Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rayana that cleaned the scene and orchestrated a plan that included a fake telephone call and dressing as the Major so that he may be seen. You had nothing to do with that.
I swear I had no idea that is what they had done. Archie just told me to stay out of sight. I am no master criminal.
I genuinely don't think she is.
Then Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rayana will be charged for obstruction of justice and impeding my investigation.
I mean, why
Please,
wouldn't
Detective,
they previously?
They were only trying to help me.
Still did a crime.
If they wished to help you, they should have brought all of this to my attention immediately instead of committing more illegal acts.
That is true, but they don't know you, and they don't know if they can trust you.
Surely you haven't forgotten what happened with Fleurette. She was only accused of stealing a bracelet. I killed a man.
Oh, yeah.
It is a day I have not forgotten,
She went to
mademoiselle,
prison.
even for a moment.
She didn't even steal it. Angeline hid it up the fireplace.
Without your help, I don't stand a chance. Please, Detective Poirot, you are the only one that can help me.
Oh, Elizabeth, why didn't you come to me?
I didn't think you would believe me. I felt so guilty. And when it was announced yesterday that he was a victim of the blackmailer, I wanted to tell you everything. I came to find you last night, Detective, but Archie stopped me.
I knew that was what was going on.
I'm sorry.
Come, my little grey cells, let us solve this mystery. She killed him in self-defense, and I know it's woulda, shoulda, coulda. It's a different time and a different set of circumstances, and they'd already had an experience where somebody had not been believed. Right. Defensive strike. Where is it? Why, who, what? What have we got here? Motives. There we go. When he wouldn't let go. It was defensive.
What a revelation.
Elizabeth's story confirms Margot's claim. The Major's death was a result of a defensive strike. Finally, I've solved the case of the Major's murder. I must admit, I have no joy in declaring Mademoiselle Elizabeth as a killer. I wish she had never been put in such a position at all. Oh, sad. Sad. Okay. Let's talk to Elizabeth.
Oh, yes, Detective.
The Major's missing
I
knife.
don't know where it is.
If you have been honest with me until now, I ask that you continue.
I'm sorry, I really don't know. Archie dropped it out of the study window and he said he would deal with it. I couldn't bear to touch the thing.
I have the knife in my possession, and I believe that from Mademoiselle's reaction, she does not know what became of it. She is unaware of the efforts that Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rihanna went to mask what she had done. Monsieur Sterling was not lying when he said he would do anything for her. Merci, Mademoiselle. S'il te plaît, wait in my room.
Please, I was only protecting myself. I didn't want to hurt him. He just wouldn't let me go.
I am not the one that you need to convince.
Oui, mademoiselle. I know.
Oh, sad. Sad.
Mademoiselle tells quite the harrowing story.
I cannot imagine the Major acting in such a way. But Elizabeth could not make up such a story.
You have a very protective life because you are his daughter.
After learning what I have about the Major's character this weekend, I would not question the lengths he would go to in order to keep his secret hidden. I know that you share a close bond with Mademoiselle Elizabeth, but you cannot allow your personal feelings to taint your belief of what took place.
She has committed a terrible crime, but she will live with that for the rest of her life. She is not a cold-blooded killer.
Well, that is maybe, but unfortunately...
If what she says of the Major's attack is true, she acted in self-defense. And in the law's eyes, a crime has not been committed. I will do everything I can to make sure her story is heard and a fair trial is conducted.
Hopefully better than you did for Fleurette. I believe the version of events that Mademoiselle Elizabeth has confessed to are true. The Major having fallen into a fit of rage at the prospect of his sordid secrets coming to light, he attacked the young Mademoiselle and drove her to do what she had to do to protect herself. She put herself in a dangerous position, where there is a small part of me that commends the duty she felt to find justice for her beloved and the other workers that lost their lives at the Major's orders. If the telephone line is now working, I must call in my findings with the remaining snow. It may still be some time before they arrive.
Mademoiselle, it is time I address the house.
Can you imagine if they decide that it is self-defense and that she doesn't see any prison time, and then Archie and Rihanna do for covering up the crime? I imagine that's not going to be the case.
What will you say? What if they do not listen?
I can assure you, they will.
Elizabeth was right, though. She's just a servant. What if they...
Mademoiselle, when Detective Poirot speaks, they will listen.
Are you
Would
sure?
you ask the guests to convene in the library?
Of course.
Are you
And
sure?
what of the staff?
I have told Monsieur Sterling to remain in the staff quarters with the others. When the authorities arrive, they shall be dealt with.
What if they just leave?
You have been of great help to me throughout my investigation. And now that it is over, I have one final request.
I mean, there's nothing stopping them just leaving.
You only need to ask.
While I am speaking with the guests in the library, would you watch over Mademoiselle Elizabeth in my room?
You don't think she will try and escape, do you?
In her position, I do not know what she might try. But I trust with you there, any potential ideas of such a thing will be squashed.
I would be more concerned about Sterling and Rihanna doing a wee flit. You know what I mean? We're just going to go straight into chapter 9. It's a conclusion. The denouement. We're just going to go straight in.
Detective, you have spent more time making us sit and wait for you than anything else.
What else are you having to
Madame
do?
Bosch, if you think I have spent my time focused on anything
Snowing?
besides
Can't go
uncovering
anywhere.
the Major's killer, you are sorely mistaken.
I'm sure you will be eager to share your findings with us then.
All in good time, madame. Firstly, to understand the truth of what has occurred this weekend, one must know the timeline of events that not only preceded the Major's death, but succeeded.
We are all well aware of what happened before, Detective. You can save your breath.
Be quiet,
You are
Cassandra.
only aware of what the guilty parties wanted you to believe. But now I shall apprise you to the true events. The reason for us all being here, you know. The altercation between Monsieur Demire and the Major, you know. The body of Monsieur Hagen was found while we were all sat enjoying a most delicious meal. That you also know. But what was kept from us all was that his body lay on the study floor for far longer than was thought.
It was that servant. She found him.
S'il te plaît, monsieur. It
Don't
was
interrupt
indeed
my
young Julia
flow.
that found the Major's body lying lifeless in the study.
So it was her.
Monsieur, I will not allow for any further interruptions.
I may lose track.
I return to the Major's body. If we are to believe the scene that we were presented with, the Major must have been killed during the first course of our meal, a meal that none of you left, even for a moment. Speaking in the evening, you all confirmed one another's alibis, and although there was doubt in the validity of some, I confirmed that they were indeed all true. What I could not understand was how a man came to be found dead, and every guest accounted for at the time of death. That is until I questioned the latter. Monsieur Beckers, I shall now allow you to speak. You saw the Major smoking a cigar in the snow. Is that true?
It is.
False. You saw what you were meant to see. Someone in the Major's coat standing outside, giving the illusion that the Major was still very much alive.
I mean, this is wonderful for a wrap-up,
Monsieur de
but
Silva,
is it
on the
necessary?
afternoon of the Major's death, do you recall hearing a telephone ring?
Now that you mention it, I have not heard a single ring all weekend.
Correct. The telephone lines have been down for the duration of our stay. Meaning
This is
the
just showing
telephone
off, I
call
think.
that was received
I think
and
Poirot likes
promptly
to show off.
directed to the Major's study was yet another act of trickery and deceit. But it did not end there. When I entered the study for the first time, it was obvious someone had already been there and falsified the scene to stage a burglary and clear away important evidence, including the murder weapon. What followed was an investigation that had already been hindered. But even those lengths were not enough to derail me for long.
I think we have all had enough of your self-praise, Detective. Perhaps you would like to tell us who killed him now?
Madame, as I'm sure you would expect, it is not as simple as that. What many of you do not know is the discussion that was had between the Major and Monsieur Beckers earlier that day.
What has that
Cassandra's
got
like,
to do with
"Get it,
anything?
man."
I told you I didn't kill him.
That I know to be true. What you do not know is that it was not only his ears that heard your spoken words.
I hope you are not implying I had something to do with it.
How did you leap to that
No, madame.
conclusion?
There was another. Mademoiselle Elizabeth. You are all aware that the Major was hired by Monsieur de Silva to front the security during the workers' strikes. What very few of you know is that it was the Major's order that instigated the vicious attacks on those unarmed men and resulted in numerous deaths, including Mademoiselle Elizabeth's fiancé, Luc. Monsieur Beckers confronted the Major, declaring that he was to hand himself in. That is what Mademoiselle Elizabeth overheard.
Monsieur de Silva's
Now,
like,
knowing
oh
the
no,
truth,
there's a journalist
She
in this
waited
room.
until the Major was away from his study. After he stepped outside following the confrontation with Monsieur Demire's fist, it looked to be the perfect opportunity, or so she thought. The Major returned and found her looking for the proof she required to hand him over to the authorities.
If the maid bumped him off, why hasn't she been arrested?
Where? How are the police going to
events
get
that
here?
followed in the study are not those of a cold-blooded murder, but one of a young girl that had no other option but to protect her own life.
Sounds to me, Detective, like you have taken a shine to this young girl and would rather protest her innocence than arrest her for murder, the crime she
Manslaughter.
committed.
Jeez, this is gonna make for a juicy story.
I don't know. Self-defense.
Mademoiselle, I ask you this. You have seen the Major's anger before, oui?
What if I have?
How do you think he would have reacted if someone was to find proof that he had committed a terrible act, and that if made public, would surely result in his incarceration? Exactement.
He was a brute.
The story you have told, Detective, but all I have heard is that Elizabeth overheard a conversation blaming the Major for her
Well, you would
fiancé's
think
death,
that.
and she murdered him in revenge. A servant killing a man that is as revered as he was. She will face the noose.
I am not denying that a man has lost his life, but it is not the crime of murder that you all believe. While the Major did not deserve to die in such a way, it was his actions towards Mademoiselle Elizabeth that drove her to defend herself in any way she could.
Mademoiselle Cassandra is
will
like
be punished,
not having it.
but we will let the law decide
Uppity
the severity
servant.
of her punishment.
She has played you like a fiddle, Detective, acting the innocent victim. She
Who's going to do that? The Major's gone.
hanged for her crime, like every other cold-blooded killer.
Here.
Give her what she deserves.
The girl has got to pay for what she's done.
I could not have been clearer with what occurred in the Major's study. They have all forgotten their own perceptions of the Major. The terrible it's us versus him. It's upstairs versus downstairs. The servants were right. They're not going to get a fair trial from the upper classes because the upper classes don't see them as human beings. The terrible crimes he has committed and what he has done to them all in one way or another. I cannot allow for Mademoiselle Elizabeth's sentence to be negatively influenced by those in the house. I must help them see how their past actions have led to this unfortunate circumstances and the loss of life. Perhaps I should remind them all of their participation in not only the workers' strike but the resulting riots.
Those of you that are calling for the hanging of Mademoiselle Elizabeth, have you forgotten the roles you played? Your actions have been far from innocent.
Look, Detective, I see
let's
where
get
you're
her.
going with this, but it's not going to work. So maybe the strikes were down to De Silva and Beckers. But don't try and drag me into their mistakes.
Don't have to drag you.
Mademoiselle Conrad, if you are so confident of your innocence, perhaps we should begin with you.
Sneep, sneep. Convincing Mademoiselle Conrad to admit to her involvement will be no easy feat. She is strong-minded and has deflected questions in the past. Perhaps a more aggressive approach is in order. So we have neutral. You are at the top of your field now, but tell me, why is it you entered the world of journalism? Accusing. You would almost do anything for a headline. N'est-ce pas? Let's do that one.
You don't need to imply it's only me that does. Ask any of my journalists, they'll say the same.
Even if in the process people are hurt?
Yeah, she doesn't give a fuck.
You knew the situation surrounding the strikes and only sought to swell the anger in people and create further chaos.
Yeah, she did.
Mademoiselle, you so often have something to say. Now is not the time for silence.
You really are delusional.
Maybe you should just keep your theories and claims to yourself.
Absolutely not. We're dragging it all out. Forceful. You used others for your own agenda, not considering the repercussions. I do not know of any field that would sacrifice the lives of others for gain. Forceful.
You obviously have no idea what goes on in my world. I would say stick to honest police work, but it seems that it's not in your field either.
How dare you, madam? You cannot honestly believe that what you have done is acceptable. Disgust. You have allowed others to fall while you walk proudly across their backs. Yes.
Look, it's...
Shut up.
Mademoiselle, I do not have time for your excuses. Do you wish to state your direct involvement, or should I?
Who should we get next?
It's not... Okay, fine. Yes, the story was going nowhere. There was a deal on the table, and it was going to be done and dusted. Everything you said is true. I wanted the story. The scoop that would have blown the others out of the water. I never wanted anyone to get hurt.
Everyone always says that after
but
people
I
get
can see
hurt.
What I did wasn't right. I didn't think you had this side in you. I can see now why Angeline asked for you personally. You're not like other cops. It's clear it's the law and doing the right thing through and through with you.
If you say it was self-defense, I believe you.
We can't just forget what that girl has done.
Oh, I'm coming for you
Not
next,
Jackie's
sir.
fault, or any of ours. And she decided to do what she did.
Monsieur Beckers, you are the last person I expected to defend Mademoiselle Conrad.
I'm coming for you now, sir.
We talked only last night, and correct me if I am wrong, but you have already declared the role you played. To me, at least.
Yes, we talked.
Oh,
It's just not fair of you to attack Jackie like that. Putting words in her mouth
Did I?
until she succumbs to your plan.
did I? I know enough of Monsieur Beckers to know that pushing him will not yield the results I need. Playing the role of an ally may be the best way to approach him. So cynical, you did not consider how a strike could turn violent, endangering your men. Direct, even as the leader of the union, you were swayed by one that had no part in the union doing. Let's be direct.
Detective, I'm afraid you're misunderstood. That is not how it was. It
Really?
was not my intention for things to escalate as they did. I could not have predicted that would happen. Jackie was documenting everything to do with the strikes. She wanted our story to be heard and wanted to know how I was handling the negotiations.
Badly.
And they were handled by yourself?
Naturally. If I cannot handle simple negotiations, I am not fit to be in the position I am in.
It's fair enough. So, forceful, Mademoiselle Conrad swayed, influenced and manipulated your every decision. You take great pride in your work. Are you proud of the decisions made during the strikes? I don't want to push him, because I feel like if I push him, he's just going to thingy back. So let's try a bit of sarcasm.
For what my men deserved, what they needed. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, detective. Surely you must know that. Nothing is ever simple, detective. I'm sure you understand that better than anyone.
Oh, you were just coming for some woman's neck then. So, sympathetic, I understand that you may not wish such details to be presented in front of your fellow guests, but for justice to prevail, the whole truth must be known. Neutral, you have fought for those who do not have a voice. Surely you will not allow another one to be lost in the wind to social discrimination. Let's try a bit of sympathy.
You're right, detective. I have tried so hard to deny my part, but I know only too well that my decisions led to the death of those men.
Also, you have more in common with the servants than you do with the other people in this room.
I know I cannot excuse what I've done. I just want you all to know that I am not a hateful or malicious man. I only wanted to prove that I was the right man. I have lived in other shadows for so long. I thought I would be able to finally step into the light and be the one that everyone remembered, not forgot. Monsieur da Silva offered me a deal and I turned it down. I thought I was doing right by the workers. It was only myself I was thinking about.
That's true.
What more proof do you need? He said it himself.
You
I
didn't
made a
make a generous
generous
offer, you
offer
made
to
a
reach a
terrible
resolution,
offer.
and he turned his nose up at it.
Coming for you next.
It was not
You
that
spoke
simple.
up, I'm coming to get you.
Oui, an offer was made. But Monsieur Beckers and the workers would never have been forced into that position had their working conditions been satisfactory to begin with.
This is outrageous! Do you plan on blaming everyone for doing their
Just you.
jobs? I suppose it makes you feel better about yourself, doesn't it?
Methinks the lady does protest too much, sir. Although Monsieur de Silva eventually opened up, he was defensive when we discussed the matters of his blackmail, and that was a private conversation behind closed doors. I cannot imagine he will be forthcoming in front of other guests. He's going to need someone convincing to admit his faults again. Direct. If you were simply doing your job and treating your men fairly, there would not have been a strike to talk about. Insulting, I have never heard such a pathetic attempt to justify his own actions. Problems stem from you and your decisions. I feel like this is another character that requires the direct
That may
approach.
be a big deal to you, but I am used to workers not being happy with something. And most of the time, that unhappiness is directed at me.
Because you're the boss.
When you're in charge of your own factory, you'll understand. I handle the situation the best I could. If you think otherwise, maybe you have proved us all right, that you aren't the great detective you claim to be.
You seem very angry, sir, for someone who is doing something that they... Let's have a look. Proud. Anything I claim to be is supported by facts and truth. Threatening. The desire to hide one's secrets is a powerful force. I wonder how easily yours is broken. Straightforward. You were willing to pay an anonymous blackmailer that accused you of the same. I think again,
You
direct
said
and
it,
straightforward.
anonymous. I don't know them, and it doesn't sound like they know me. When you have something people want, money, they will do
Blackmailers sat in the same room.
including constructing lies to get their hands on it.
Monsieur da Silva, you seem to have forgotten our previous conversations.
I recall them just fine, thank you. A police officer trying to manipulate facts to fit his own agenda. Shocking.
Look at you, trying a bit of revisionism. Forceful. Claims of abuse against your staff and the hiring of militia. Those are the facts that have been twisted to my agenda. Intentional or not, your arrangement with the Major kindled the fire that started the riots. Let's try assertive.
I think this is the first time blame has fallen at my feet. Although I don't think I've seen someone try so hard before to convince themselves of what they are saying.
Have you not learnt enough already from having your factories closed? If you have any hope to return to normality, you must admit your faults and accept the repercussions.
I may have been a little harsh with my staff. I only wanted to prepare them for the realities of this world.
A world that you had a hand in making harsh.
I was never given the opportunities that they have today, and I succeeded.
I'm pulling up the ladder.
All they do is demand more and more at the factories and at the house. How am I meant to keep a good profit if every franc is going to them? I offered what I could. I was willing to meet in the middle. But maybe that wasn't enough.
I am of the opinion that if you are not rich enough to pay your staff a proper wage and maintain your house and your factory, then you are not as rich as you think you are.
Swallowing one's pride is no easy feat. But if it means that a young girl will receive fair judgment, I am prepared to do it.
Merci, monsieur, for your honesty. Admitting your responsibility is an honorable move.
What now,
Yes!
detective? Is this absurdity going to continue much longer?
Bring it on, Cassandra.
Even after all your attempts, detective, Felix was still murdered.
Let's wind her up.
Self-defense or not, she chose to hide what she had done because she knew what she had done was wrong. And she will be punished for it.
It was not choice to hide anything, madame. If in her position, I ask, what would you have done? The Major has already furiously thrown an object at you, barely missing your head, and now has hold of your arm.
I wouldn't have driven a knife into him, that I can tell you for sure. She is no fool. She intended to kill, not to defend.
Madame van der Bosch will be a much greater challenge, but my method or approach has worked with her before. If I am to sway her into seeing that Mademoiselle Elizabeth had no other option, I must persuade her that it was the Major's actions that drove her to do what she did. To be honest, I'm just going to wind her up because I enjoy winding Cassandra up. So, suggestive. You were the closest to the Major. His violent temper cannot come as a surprise. Forthright. Speaking with the guests this weekend, it is not the first time the Major has shown his threatening nature.
Quite presumptuous of
There we
him
go.
to assume violence is in his nature.
He had a dishonourable discharge for murdering unarmed prisoners. He made a militia that killed strikers.
Putting my own feelings towards the Major aside, he was not an honorable man, at least at some time in his life. He must have been for you to allow him in your house for so many years.
Nostalgia. Oh, no comeback.
So, even you confirm he had a history of aggression.
Direct. The Major was dishonourably dismissed from the British military. Are you aware of why? Antagonising. He played the role of caring friend very well, but that is all it was. A performance. I just want to wind her up.
You have no idea. He was there for us when we needed him.
Yes.
You were there for him when he needed free room and board.
That is not the case, and you know it.
That's exactly the case.
His actions are unforgivable and should not be defended by anyone.
You judge him so harshly, but I return the question.
Wouldn't have killed all our
What
men.
you have done in his position. He had made mistakes. I will not deny that. In those moments when a decision had to be made, it fell to him, and he did what he saw fit.
He murdered on our men. Straightforward. Make a poor decision once is a mistake. Making it twice is a choice. And what of the mistreatment that you received from the Major? You cannot justify that. The Major ordered the attack on unarmed work. Oh, I kind of... Do you know what? She doesn't really care about other people. She definitely doesn't care about servants and workers. She's already said he made mistakes. So let's be personal. Ooh.
S'il te plaît, madame. I ask that you consider everything you know of the Major carefully.
He was not always like that. The man that I called a friend would never have done what he has.
But he did.
I cannot allow another innocent person to be punished for his vicious and barbarous behavior.
You have seen the Major act in a similar manner as
Wow.
I described before, haven't you? What was the outcome then?
Oh.
You have convinced me that I am wrong, in both my opinion on Elizabeth's punishment and in the friendships I keep. Is that not enough for you?
Did the Major kill her husband?
Not when a potential crime has been committed, and I fear an innocent party may have been punished for it.
He was just a boy. I told him to stop, but he was like a wild animal.
The confrontation with Mademoiselle Elizabeth was not the first time he has come close to killing another.
It was following the officers' ball. A young man, no older than 16, stopped us on the street, begging for some change. Felix pushed him away, but he was persistent. He only wanted a few coins. Like a flash, Felix snapped and wouldn't let go of him. He would not stop punching him. I have never seen anything so brutal.
But he was never charged for the attack.
Of course he wasn't. It was a Major and
Felix
that was a...
called the captain at the station and said that the boy had tried to rob him, and he was merely defending himself. The boy was thrown behind bars without a second thought. It was a full week before the bruises on Felix's knuckles finally...
And if you'd have told the truth, none of this stuff would have happened.
And even after witnessing such a brutal assault, you still support him. You still believe that he had not attacked Elizabeth.
The days following, he showed no signs of remorse, no...
Because he was an animal.
apology to him or to me. I blamed it on the amount he had had to drink. But when you began talking about him...
Probably happened a few
finding Elizabeth
times.
in his study, I somehow knew it had happened again.
Had you been open about the Major's temper, this could all have been avoided. When you tell the courts the truth, Mademoiselle Elizabeth's self-defense plea cannot be ignored.
Just when I thought I could not see a more spineless move.
Alright, blackmailer.
Excuse me?
You allowed a bully and thug to remain in your house and endanger your family.
I'm sorry, Margot, but I am struggling to understand why you have involved yourself in this affair.
Why not?
I'm surprised you can hear me way up there on that high horse of yours.
Ooh.
Dare you speak to me in that way? Who I decide to keep in my house is my decision and no one else's.
I can see that. Murderers, thieves, and extortionists are all acceptable, it seems.
Countess, I have talked at length of the Major's death.
Oh, we're about to
but
get you,
not the
Mrs.
reason for my invitation in the first place. When I last gathered you all together, I spoke of a blackmail ring that was rife in the area, and then of the letter that the Major had received. Mademoiselle Angeline requested my help personally after she received such a letter threatening her family name. She felt I was the only one that could uncover the truth. And uncover the truth I have.
Get on with it, detective. Who dared try and extort my family and then have
Your
the
friend.
gall to allow me to welcome them into my home?
If it was not for the honesty of a young servant, I would perhaps still be looking for the
For goodness sake, it was me.
She was like, I'm not going to be accused, I'm going to admit it.
Margot, how could you?
While it looked as though the Countess was helping the young women at the shelter, she was in fact only finding them positions of employment in wealthy homes to gather information on them and learn secrets that she would ultimately be able to use against them.
I hope it's a fun reason why.
Monsieur da Silva fell victim to her network of moles and was in turn blackmailed. It was quite the prosperous setup you had, knowing that they would not be prepared to lose their social standing if a secret was to find its way from where it had been hidden for so long.
That cannot be true, Margot. How could you do such a cruel thing?
For the lols.
That is rich. Coming from you.
You are one of my oldest friends.
This is going to be some, like,
High
ancient...
and mighty Madame van den Bosch. You think you can do what you wish when you wish it and there will be no repercussions. You are as bad as all
Oh,
of them.
get her.
If I do not get a straight answer out of you, I will march you to the police station myself.
I would love to see that.
I'm surprised it took the Major this long to start living with you. He must have been on the edge for some time.
Oh,
How dare you speak to me like that? In my own home.
A home you share with the father of your daughter for so many years, and she still remains none the wiser.
You have no right.
Maman,
Angeline? Have you heard what she has admitted to? She is merely trying to make herself...
is what she says true? Felix, he was my father?
dun dun dun.
That is the secret that the letter was talking about, isn't it? You told me that we had nothing to hide. Detective Poirot, were you aware of this?
Only recently.
Mademoiselle, but it was not my place to repeat.
I don't understand. What about father?
Your mama betrayed the love of a good, honest man and played away behind his back and then kept it hidden for all these years like a lady of the night with her client list.
Oh, the venom.
Angeline, I...
Did Felix know?
This is not an appropriate conversation.
I mean, it's all out.
He knew, dear girl. He knew the whole time. It is only dear Edwin that was blind to their deceit.
You will not talk of him like that. You will not talk of him at all.
If I don't, who will? You never deserved him. You don't even deserve the memory of him.
Oh, she hates her.
Countess, there is something that you still have not explained.
I
What
mean,
more is there for her to say?
How long were you in love with the Viscount for?
Margot? Is that true?
We were destined to be together. And then you turned up. And I was all but forgotten about.
God, she's held this grudge for a long time.
More than friends?
And you made sure of that, didn't you? From the day you arrived, it was all about what you wanted and what you had to do to get it. You didn't consider Edwin at all. He was just
Everyone's
a
like,
purse.
fuck, this is some deep lore.
I loved my husband. And I miss him every day.
You cuckolded
Loved him
him.
enough to stray?
Both of you, no more.
Please, Angela, let me explain.
Maman, I do not wish to hear anything else from you.
Not even your own daughter wants to hear your lies anymore. Cassandra van den Bosch, all alone.
How dare you!
Hercule's like, that's my cue to exit.
While I feel a sense of satisfaction and pride in solving both cases, there is still a part of me that is reluctant to revel in triumph. I am content with the unmasking of Countess de Vos as the blackmailer, and knowing that she will pay for her crimes. But
Will
it is
she,
the
though?
justice for Mademoiselle Elizabeth that worries me. She will stand in a court of law, and I can only hope that they can see she acted in self-defense. I must trust that our legal system and justice will prevail, and a fair sentencing will be given.
We shall see.
In protecting her own life, she took the life of another. Perhaps the guilt she must live with is a greater punishment than any sentence she can receive.
Wow.
Countess de Vos was taken from Nemozinet House in cuffs and placed under arrest. Although she initially tried to plead her innocence, Inga, along with a number of other girls that the Countess had found employment for, came forward and made full statements. She was charged with 5 counts of blackmail and extortion and sent to a house of corrections, where she will have a new life to become accustomed to.
I'm surprised by that.
Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rihanna were also reprimanded for their participation. While they may not be facing time in prison, tampering with a crime scene and obstruction of a police investigation are certainly not something that houses and new employers will look positively on.
I am very surprised about the Contessa going to prison for blackmail.
Mademoiselle Angeline finally became Madame Demire, and together they took up residence in England, where Monsieur Demire continues to support and fight for fairness and equality in London. I am happy to
Oh,
say
she
that
changed
we
her
have
dress.
remained in contact, and Madame Demire has become a regular correspondent of mine. And the latest joyous news is that they are expecting a child of their own. Madame van den Bosch showed compassion that I had not seen in her before. She stood in court and gave a truthful and genuine character reference of Elizabeth, as well as describing the major and the atrocious crimes he had committed. After
That is
Madame
surprising.
van den Bosch's secret was revealed to the world, her position in the social hierarchy was no more, disappearing in a moment. While she still resides in Belgium, I believe she has had to adapt to a far more modest way of life.
Probably supported by a
humbling
daughter, but who
experience
knows?
for her, I am sure. Following her actions in the courtroom, Angeline believed that her maman still had a place in her life. Although they are on different sides of La Manche, they remain in contact. Mademoiselle Conrad left Nemozinet House the same way she entered, confident in herself and audacious in her opinions. Her report of the Major's murder at the house and the surrounding blackmails became one of the most talked about stories of the year. While there were certain details of her own involvement that did not make it to print,
Well, obviously.
she was really quite complimentary about the detective at the heart of the case. Monsieur de Silva tried to continue in his position as factory owner and business entrepreneur, but after
What's
his
up?
accounts and business dealings were investigated following the details of his blackmail being made public in Mademoiselle Conrad's article, his illustrious business empire began to crumble, and is now facing an international corporate investigation. Monsieur Beckers stepped down from his position as union leader, accepting that he was no longer fit to represent the workforce that, in his words, he had let down on a scale of unmeasurable proportion. Although he is no longer the voice of the workers, he continues to support them from behind the scenes. Monsieur Zachariah and his brother made amends, and returning to his family home, and after sobering up, he was able to find the help that he required. I understand that he is now helping fellow soldiers with similar conditions. And Mademoiselle Elizabeth, she stood before a court, and while the proceedings were deemed controversial, the charges against her were dropped, and the reasoning of self-defense was accepted by the presiding judge.
Oh, that's surprising.
Bosch's testimony, along with Mademoiselle Angeline's
Oh, I'm gonna have to turn the mic
declaration
off. The
of
chicken's
character
kicking off. Hang on.
was enough to show that it was not in Elizabeth's nature to act in such a violent way. The abundance of evidence against the Major, and his violent and cruel nature, including his appalling acts during the strikes and the war, was more than enough to prove that Mademoiselle Elizabeth had no other option in that situation but to defend herself in any way that she could. With the new arrival of Madame and Monsieur Demire's child next year, they have agreed to give Elizabeth the opportunity to return home to England and take up a position in their home as nanny.
What?
The death of Elizabeth's beloved Luc has been at the center of everything. Had those in positions to help not acted with only themselves in mind, perhaps he would
That's
still
what they
be
do.
alive today, and the Major would have paid the price for his own crimes in the eyes of the law, not at the blade of a knife. The blood of Major Felix Egan will remain on Elizabeth's hands, a stain that wherever she is and whatever she may do, she will never be able to wash clean.
And she wasn't the one who ended up in prison,
remain
though.
as a reminder to not only her, but all of us, of what we as human beings are capable of to protect ourselves. We all have something that may be considered shameful or sinful, and it is how we deal with it that shows our true character.
I mean, that's true.
Those involved in the riots, the workers' deaths, and the Major's killing believed themselves to be untouchable. Whether it was from their social standing or their confidence in themselves, they learned that everyone is accountable for their actions. There is no exemption because of the suit you wear or the money in your bank account.
That's a very nice
There is
way
no
of thinking
price to
about it, but
man's
it's
life.
not true.
It cannot be bought or traded or discarded. No man is better than another, including Detective Hercule Poirot.
Well, that was surprising. Sorry, I had to turn off the mic for a bit because the chicken was kicking off about something. Still don't know what that was about. But yeah, surprising. I'm glad that they got married and that they're having a child. I'm very surprised about the Elizabeth situation, that she was released and they now have her as a nanny. I'm very surprised that the Contessa is seeing the inside of a prison cell, because I feel like that probably wouldn't have happened normally. Maybe it's because she was like blackmailing very rich people, possibly. And all the other situations kind of expected. I know that this is a tale of redemption where, you know, the class of the initial lady, Florette, was held against her when she was actually innocent, and Angeline, you know, didn't see any punishment for that. And it was supposed to be like a redemption of, oh, you know, she was innocent and she got off, and like bad people seeing the bad things didn't matter class, and like it's kind of not the case. It's not the case, and especially when it had been a case at that time. Money and power and status buys influence, and it is very rare that those people do see any kind of punishment, and it is kind of naive of Poirot to be like, you know, the law is blind to class, because that is absolutely not the case. But that's why we love Poirot, because he does think that the law is blind to class, and he thinks it should apply to everybody, and you know, that's great. It's lovely. So that's the end of Hercule Poirot's first cases, and I'll be playing something different for our next Murder Mystery Monday. And if you would like to know what that is, then there is an end card coming up with a link back into my channel where you can subscribe and join me for another Murder Mystery Monday. Have a lovely week, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.